Today, we're taking a step back as we move into project management. We're giving our team leads a little bit more leadership role and hoping that they can hang on and keep their IPs afloat, allowing us to step back and move on to bigger and better things. Let's get started. Hello and welcome back to Bamboo Labs and of course Software Inc. Now, when we last left off, the Whispering Grove 2 just came out this morning. We haven't even worked on it yet. So we are currently doing support on it, updating that and porting it to some different OSs. But before we get too far into the episode, I did have a comment that I can't find, so I can't credit whoever commented it. But they told me something interesting about publishing. So if we go into develop software and we just say do whatever, so this is an operating system. If we come to the last page here and we go to choose a marketing publisher, what I didn't realize is these hearts on the side here show us how much market recognition the publisher themselves have in that space. So say we were doing an operating system. Even though Brainwater, we have an excellent relationship with them and they would drop their take down to 0% after they recoup 3 times their investment, they wouldn't be the best choice to launch an OS with. That would be SideApp Interactive, just because they have a little bit of market recognition in that space. So they're going to be able to push that OS out to more people, generally leading to better returns, basically. They're going to take a little bit more of your profit, but you'll get more customers as a result. So I just wanted to note that before we got too far into this. Today, I think we're going to set up our own marketing teams. And try and get some of this into project management. That is the goal, but we're going to let the game run for a little bit as we get this updated and into the Bamboo Odyssey updates, which is no longer exclusively Bamboo Odyssey. We're going to release all of these games and then we'll start to focus on getting our marketing department up and running. So that update is finished. We can now jump into Bamboo Odyssey updates, come into existing products and control click Whispering Grove 2 to add it to that. That'll clear out some of this a little bit. We should probably also, while we're around, go ahead and raise our take on our digital distribution, which is now up at 14%, and we have a decent number of clients. We can go ahead and update that to the latest tech level while I am thinking about it. Who did that get assigned to? Whispering, and I mean, yeah, that seems fair. That will be fine. We'll go ahead and update that. And I'm going to jump into a time lapse as we get a whole bunch of these out the door. Okay. Basil Davidson, who was our lead designer on the Whispering team, has some new demands. We can either give him a private office or a golden handshake. Golden handshake I actually haven't seen before, but this basically means that an employee gets a bonus if their employment is terminated equal to 5 years pay. So that would be actually quite a substantial amount of money, but at the same time, we have no intention of firing this guy anytime soon. So I will absolutely give him a golden handshake. We could also do the private office, but for now, the golden handshake will suffice. All right, I'm going to pause here for a second. The Whispering team is officially finished with their port, which is fantastic. We're getting decent sales. But with that said, that seems like a perfect product to throw on project management right away. So that means we're going to need a brand new team. Because we can't use publishers with project management, which is unfortunate. I wish we could. I wish I never had to hire a marketing team. We are going to hire a marketing team. So this will be M11, and I'm also going to do M12 and M13. These are going to be my 3 teams, and the reason I'm hiring 3 different teams is so that we can go ahead and change their hours around. So M11 is going to come in at 1 a.m. They can come in at 12 a.m. M12 can come in at 8 a.m. and M13, which is showing there, can come in at 4 p.m. But I'm actually going to cut these down a little bit further just so that they don't ever overlap in the office space. This gives them a little bit of time to leave the office before they come back in. Now, ideally for these two teams here, I would go ahead and get people with the night owl trait. And I'm honestly not going to do that. What we can do to help that though, is we can move these over just a little bit, so that we have a 5 a.m. start and actually let's move it one further down. That way we have a 6 a.m. start, 2 p.m. start and an 8 p.m. finish, meaning only this one team, M11, will be the night team, and we can potentially try and get as many night owls as possible in that team. But also remember that when we went into our employee benefits, people on night shift between 6 p.m. and 5 a.m. will get an extra 50% per hour. So hopefully they're not too upset about that. That will, of course, mean that we need to go ahead and hire some more people. So to start out, we need some leaders. Ideally, they'll have service skill, but it's not really necessary. We want them to have HR. Automation isn't going to matter for our marketing teams because they're going to never be in charge of the project management. We will want multitasking 100% though, and socialization if we can find it. So we're going to filter by compatibility with the Odyssey team just to get started, and we'll go ahead and begin looking. We only have 2 applicants right here. One has 2 stars in marketing, which is nice. They actually both have 2 stars in marketing and both have a lot of leadership skill. So these 2 are fantastic. We'll go ahead and hire one of them for M11 and hire the other for M12. And then we'll go ahead and look for new employees, and we'll just say secondary role. Well, actually, no, let's still leave that as service, but we'll search for medium instead. Begin looking, and we get a couple. Support, legal, this one's not bad. 3 stars in HR, 3 stars in multitasking, and 2 stars in marketing. You are probably our best bet, yeah, 100%. So, Donovan Porter, welcome to M13. You are officially hired. Now, before I go too much further with this, I do want to just jump into manage employees, sort by team, and look at our M1s. Did any of these guys have night owl? Doesn't look like it. No. So that's not going to matter. That's fine. We can go into these 3 teams now and go ahead and assign them to be the leader and do service as a secondary option there. Manage roles, do the exact same for these. And simple as that, we now have leaders for all 3 of our marketing teams. Now we need to go ahead and set them up in an office. So they're going to get this office right here, and this is going to be M1, M2, or M11, M12, and M13. The reason I named it like this is because I'm probably going to have 2 different marketing teams, all with 3 different shifts. So that's the reason we set that up the way that we did, and then we can go ahead and make sure this is for leaders only. Fantastic. We should also probably, while I'm thinking about it, go ahead and set their vacations to be at any time they want, and we'll just space them out a little bit. Perfect. Next step, of course, is to go ahead and hire service people with specialization in marketing. Secondary role can be absolutely none, and we'll look for high. We'll start with the M11 team, although they should all be compatible with each other. These guys are night owls, so we'll see. So yeah, we're going to get maybe 5 applicants with this. So let's have a look. We do. And honestly, 4 people on the night shift is probably enough. So I'm going to go ahead and hire every single one of these guys. They're not going to be too sad about working at night. Then we'll go ahead and look again, turn off the night owl trait, and we'll start looking for M12. We only get 1 applicant, which is not fantastic, but we'll take them. That'll be fine. And then we'll go ahead and look again with medium selected. It's a little bit unfortunate that we didn't get more people applying, but you know, it is what it is. These guys aren't too bad. They're just not going to be able to make press videos, which I'm actually a little bit sad about. Instead, we might give the Whispering team basically the day off, and we'll look again in the morning and hopefully get some more people for those teams. The marketing teams that we've just hired won't come in today anyway, so we're not too concerned about that. Okay, we've hit the next day. A couple things have happened. We need to remember to release Panda Dash today, and I'll do that like right now, just so that I don't forget. We have 1,860 followers. I believe I set this to be printed, and I did, because nothing pops up when I hit that button. Let me just double check. Panda Dash, yeah, 500,000. We've got heaps in stock. That's fantastic. We'll go ahead and release that. Bug Squad gave us 5 stars. Who's Clue? 3 stars. And Quality Assistance is 5 stars. Absolutely fantastic. We don't need to order any copies, but we do need to work on our support. So let's go ahead and update this to the latest tech level using Print Premium. This will be with the, what is this? Panda Dash. So that's not the Whispering team, although they can probably help with it because they're not actually doing anything today. And we'll assign them to that to be updated. Move that right to the top just so they get it out of the way. We can then also open up our details panel here, put this down here somewhere, and go ahead and port this again with the Panda Dash team and Whispering, because they're not doing much, and port this to anything over 100,000. These guys really aren't that far over 100,000, but X-Girl next to might still be growing, so we'll go ahead and put it on there as well. Get that up the top a little bit further, and that should be good to go. Of course, the other thing, narrowed down to 74%. Oh, that's unfortunate. 1 more percent and he would have been amazing, but alas, you can't have everything. So the other thing we need to do is go ahead back into our marketing, look for some high salary people for the M12 team. Begin looking, and we have 5 applicants, all pretty fantastic. I'm going to hire 3 of them here. I think that will be fine. 1, 2, 3. And then we'll get the others on the M13 team. They still have great compatibility because they're basically the same traits for the leaders. And then if we have a look again, we can probably fill it out with some medium level employees. Do we have any night owls in here? Probably not. Probably not. So how many do we have on each team at the moment? It's not going to tell me. Cool. Manage teams. Let's have a look. Go ahead and hire and do that same thing. Because we're doing the same search, we don't have to be charged to look for them. So that's fantastic. We have 5 on M11, 5 on M12, and 3 on M13. I think I would like to get, 7 or 8 people on each team. So M12, 3 more people. M13 can get, what's that? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. I think that was right. That was 9. Close enough. And we're going to look again with the Night Owl trait on medium to get some people for the M11 team, and that will be fine. So we need 3 more on there, and that is pretty good. We got 1 extra on the M13 team, but that's not really an issue. Now we just need to go in and make sure all their roles are set to not do anything except for service, and that is that. We'll also need to go in and adjust their HR situation, manage roles, like so. The other option that we could have done is actually hired these guys through project management, and that might have been more efficient because we could say we want, however many we want. Let's say we want 8 and we'll hire another person by doing that. Let's actually do this all at once, because you can select multiple teams and organize human resources at the same time. I'm going to go for hired for. Education level will be 3, education amount will be 1, and this is going to give us the total number of people, but we can at least choose their specializations. So we want support and we want marketing. We want traits to not include cup holder or forgetful. Right click to put X's on those, and salaries are going to be high. That should all work out nicely. Then we can just come into each team and say we want 8 people on this team. HR management, we want 8 people on this team, and that will hire these guys up to 9 as well. and HR management on here will be 8 on this team. And that means we don't have to worry about rehiring people when they leave either. So that will be fantastic. The other thing we should do in our HR management down here is go ahead and say, have the night owl trait. Just do it so that we don't have to worry about our employees complaining. And that should be that. That's our marketing team all set up, which means we can probably go ahead and start working on project management. And I'll be honest, before we get started here, I have not used this new project management system yet, so bear with me. Hopefully everything works out. But I haven't used it, so let's go ahead and see how this works. We want to make a sequel for the Whispering Grove 2, so we'll go ahead and do that as normal. Everything here should be pretty self-explanatory. Whispering Grove, and our tech levels aren't up to date, but I really don't think it's going to make that much of a difference. Let's go to the next page here. Choose our tools. Audio tool is record take, and our operating systems, where are they? Active users, and down to, let's just go to there. That'll be fine. Next page, analyze the market real quick, and they still want more graphics. We still don't have 3D graphics yet. That's fine. So we're really not going to get much more than we've currently got. Go ahead and auto balance 100%. Expected interest is exactly what we want to see there. Design teams is not going to include Tycoon 2, and it's not going to include Qualifier either. This will be, what is this? This is the Whispering team, and development team will be also Whispering. That is all said and done. Now we just go ahead and say project management, and I did it wrong. Of course I did it wrong. Close that and go ahead and set up a project management first. So this will be Whispering Grove. The leader will be Marilyn Lewis. Design teams will be Whispering. Development teams will be Whispering. Secondary dev teams will be the S1 team, because they will do stuff if there is nothing else for them to do. Support team will be the S1 team. Pre-marketing team will be M1, M2, and M3. And this will not be S1. This will be M1, M2, and M3. Take off the support team there. Update teams will be the Whispering team. Prototype software is not that. Okay, that's fine. We'll not put that on. Auto development on, only sequels on, use frameworks on, single IP, use own licenses if available. That will mean if we developed a 2D tool or a 3D tool or whatever, we would use that instead of paying for someone else's. Existing products are not that. I think that's because they're in here. Let's just take them out of here real quick. Put the Panda Dash in. Are they still updating that? Yeah, they are. So we won't put that in yet. Take that out of there. And where did it go? Where did my new one go? Did I just lose it? Can I really not have multiple of these open at the same time? That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Surely not, right? If the Whispering Grove 2 has been taken off. Yeah, okay. Apparently you can't have more than one of them open at a time, so let's do that all again. 1 second. Alright, there we go. Prototype is Whispering Grove 2. Auto development, only sequels, use frameworks, single IP, use own licenses. Existing products are the Whispering Grove. SCM will be SCM. Development time, I like to set it about 180%, but I'm not actually sure if this has changed in this release, so we'll have to play around with that a little bit. Iteration cooldown is going to be 0. Hype will be on. Server will be the play server, I guess. Updates, update tech levels, and I like to do update cycles every month for basically forever. That means as soon as there's no more bugs in the software, they will stop updating it. But until that point, updates will continue to be pushed out. We want to handle post-marketing, marketing, support. And when we go to the beta phase, we want to print 500,000 copies, and we want our project manager to handle distribution. Now, when we hit OK, that should be good to go. We no longer need to do this design document because they should do that automatically. Where did that go? Down here. So Whispering Grove support, they should automatically start development on the next game. I'll go ahead and move this somewhere closer to the top. Right about there should be fine. This doesn't have the Whispering Grove 2 as an option for support, which is very interesting to me. This should just automatically get assigned in here, but I don't actually have it as an option, so we'll see how that goes. We'll let this run for a little bit. This is an absolute mess, a dumpster fire, but that's fine. We'll throw that there and see how that goes. People should start coming in relatively quickly here. And yep, we are starting to update Panda Dash, which is fantastic. We'll let them get that done, hit finish, and then jump back into the Bamboo Odyssey updates. Instead, we're going to name this to updates because it's really a little bit more of everything at this point. Throw Panda Dash in there, and that should be good. That should be good. Whispering Grove is now doing Whispering Grove support for the Whispering Grove 1. I don't understand why 2 isn't in here. It really should be. Maybe it's because it's the prototype software. I don't know. If anyone knows the answer to that question, I would love to find out. But currently we're doing it manually, so I don't know what that's about. But they are designing that, so that is fantastic. And everything seems to be running pretty well. Updating the Whispering Grove 2 is complete. Maybe that put it in here? Nope. Nope, it's still just out doing stuff up here. That's fine. We are still porting Panda Dash. Bamboo Odyssey 5 should come out very, very soon. We'll go ahead and put that on its own thing as well. And yeah, we're going to keep on rocking and rolling with the time lapses and be back in a little bit. All right, Bamboo Odyssey 5 is released. 5 stars, 3 stars, and 5 stars. Not too bad. Panda Dash sold 1.3 million copies in its first month, which is fantastic to see. We do need to go ahead and rack up the support for Bamboo Odyssey 5 right about here. Go ahead and update that to the latest tech. You guys know the drill at this point. We'll go ahead and port that as well using the Odyssey team. Perfect. And port that to those, and that should be good to go. Where did my update go? That is using the Whispering team and the Dash team, which is wrong. We want the S1 team and the Odyssey team. And that should be good to go. We'll let that run, let them update that, and then we'll add that to the updates thing here and potentially put them on their own project management. Okay, I want to get Bamboo Odyssey 5 on its own project management now. And that is a little bit of a problem because we also have Panda Dash in this. And that's not really what I want. So instead, we are going to switch the leader of this to, instead of being Toby Russell, we're going to switch this to probably Bruno Stone, honestly. No, we're not. He doesn't have enough automation skill. What if we throw it to Tengle? No, he doesn't also. I guess we can put it on the Dash team, right? Panda Dash, that makes the most sense. And then we'll take all of these products off except for Panda Dash, and that will be fine. These are basically none because they're not actually doing this yet. We're going to remove all of this information just in case it becomes a problem later on. Prototype software is none. None of this is on. That should be good to go. We've got updates going. Perfect. Then we want to go ahead and make a new project management for Bamboo Odyssey, which I can always struggle to spell. And this will be Toby Russell. And we'll go ahead and set this document up. So basically the exact same thing that we did with the Whispering Grove. except it's the Odyssey team instead of the Whispering team. So that is set up and ready to go. Bamboo Odyssey is now being automated, and we don't have to worry about that anymore. Interesting to note that when you set these up, for some reason you can't add Bamboo Odyssey 5 as an existing product because it's the prototype software. I don't know why. It's a little bit annoying, and hopefully they fix that soon, but it is what it is. So we're just gonna keep on rocking and rolling here, making sure that this is all moving smoothly. Okay, we've had our first attempt at poaching. Freed LLC has offered Tammy Rhodes a lucrative employment offer. Do you want to counter their offer for $426,609 a year? I wish... Oh, I can. We can see her details here. She is the one that is only 75%. Oh, 74%, I should say. She's already on a fixed rate. She has a non-binding contract and a luxury car. She's not even that good. She really isn't. Tammy Rhodes on the Dash team. Dash currently isn't working on anything, so I could absolutely go ahead and replace her if I wanted to. I'm going to say no. And does that mean she leaves? Does that mean she leaves? I'm actually not sure. We go to the Dash team and look at the employees. Yep, she's gone. Tammy Rhodes is gone. That's fine, honestly. Let's just go ahead and replace her. We want a designer, programmer, high, filter by specialization, system, 2D, and audio. And let's see if we have any lead designers here that we can get. We have, this guy is probably the only person that we would want. Gus Watts. Upfront cost of $315,000, fixed rate, non-binding, luxury car, private office, and he gets exclusive right to design sequels and take on all trade income. That's rough, man. This guy's only a fixed rate, 65%. This guy, yeah. Gus isn't bad. IP ownership scares me a little bit. He's got 3-star system, 2D, audio, and hardware. He's not bad. I wish he had some programming skill. He has some experience in game. He's got decent compatibility. Oh, with the wrong team. This is on the Dash team. Yeah, same thing here. Let's do it. Let's hire our first lead designer. At least we know they're going to have inspiring creativity. Gus Watts, you're officially hired. It's going to cost $615,000 up front because of the luxury car. Gus Watts is officially hired. We need to go in to the Dash team, remove the restriction for leaders only. So this is now anyone. And instead we need to go in here and assign, wrong button, assign Gus to this seat so that he has his own private office. And then, honestly, we should probably go ahead and set up Panda Dash on its own project management. So we'll go ahead and do that now. All right, so I forgot that we actually had Panda Dash on its own thing here. So instead, we'll do it in this document. All right, that is pretty much that set up. Panda Dash there. That is now on its own thing as well. Of course, that did drop support and updates out of that project management. I assume as we release the next version, they will automatically get imported into this project management, but for some reason you can't have them in there. So we're going to have to every now and then go in here and manually update these things, which is a little annoying. That has no bugs anyway, so that's fine. You don't have any bugs. You do have some bugs. Update is already in development for that. Okay. So maybe we don't have to worry about that. Panda Dash, I would have thought it'd be in here. Oh, it's right there. It's out. That is why. Perfect. So that should be good to go. We're honestly just waiting for things to release at this point, and we'll slowly move them over to their own project managements. Robbie Warner has officially retired, and I had a question on the last episode asking whether or not having people for longer is a good thing. Let's just have a look. And I mean, this speaks for itself. This guy has maxed out his skill in designing, programming, and artist. He even has like 60 to 70% of his service skills. So definitely keep your employees around as long as you possibly can. Looks like this guy was mainly a programmer on the Odyssey team. So we'll go ahead and replace him real quick. Programmer designer, hi. We don't need him to be a night owl. We want this to be the Odyssey team, filter by specialization, system, 2D, and audio. Go ahead and begin looking and hire the best person we can. And I think that is going to be Darius Mayer. So welcome to the team. You are a fantastic programmer, decent designer as well. So you are officially hired. Just need to make sure we go in to the Odyssey team, manage our roles, and turn off service. Basically, that's all we need to do. And that should be good to go. I did also go ahead and throw Clawfire into its own project management. I'll do the same thing with Clash of Claws and Bamboo Tycoon as soon as they get released. So we'll continue on with the time lapse for now. An exciting day. Bamboo Tycoon and Clash of Claws are both releasing today, so let's see just how well they did. I'm hoping they're good. It looks like Ward Alvarez has been narrowed down to 73% to 100%, so that's fantastic to see. 3 stars, 5 stars, 5 stars, basically the same as everything else. I'll go ahead and do these before I forget. Go ahead and update that to the latest tech level. You guys know the drill. Update that and port that using the Clash of Claws team to anyone with any decent amount of active users. That is set. We'll throw that up there, and the update can come right to the top so I don't forget about it. The port can also go right to the top so I don't forget about it, although we can minimize it. And then Bamboo Tycoon is also getting released today. Narrowed down to 75 to 85, so they are also inspiring. We've really lucked out with some of our lead designers here. 5 stars, 4 stars, 4 stars. Not too bad, not too bad. Isn't that buggy? Plus it's great quality. I'm not too sad about that. That is pretty good. So that can go there. We'll go ahead and open this panel up. Go ahead and update that to the latest tech levels. ePro 3, update and port to basically the exact same things as we did for the other one. Throw these up the top just so that I don't lose track of them. And as soon as they've finished that, I'll go ahead and get them on their own things as well. So yeah, our creativity is honestly quite fantastic. Get these updated, and then we'll go ahead and move them to their own project management so that everything in our studio is officially automated, apart from the updates for these releases where we switch to project management because the game be silly sometimes. Okay, so those are both set up the exact same way as all of the others. Feel free to pause if you want to check this. The only difference with this one is that we have the Tycoon 2 team working on that also. So that is basically everything automated. I'm going to let the game run until we probably get Bamboo Odyssey 6 out the door, just to make sure that our project management is working the way that it should be. And then we will probably end the episode there with big plans for the next one. So I'm going to pause real quick because I noticed something interesting here. I'm going to pause the game as well. Bamboo Odyssey 5 actually has an update queued in the project management here, which is interesting because it's not under our existing products list. It's only under our prototype software. So I'm wondering if they do actually do this themselves, and I've been doing it unnecessarily, but like Bamboo Tycoon currently has 55 bugs, and they are. So that's fantastic. Looks like support is the only thing that gets done manually here, and that's, I mean, pretty automatic anyway, so we don't really have to worry about anything. We have burglars looking to rob us. That shouldn't be an issue. They get chased away almost immediately, so that's fantastic. Everything is running nice and smoothly. We'll go ahead and fast forward until something interesting happens with Bamboo Odyssey 2's Bamboo Odyssey 6's project management, I should say. Okay, we've had another retiree on our Odyssey team. If we have a look at their details, looks like again they were a designer, programmer, and also artist. So we're gonna have to keep replacing them. This is gonna get more consistent as time goes on. So the thing that we can do instead is go into HR management and actually enable some hiring. So currently we have 6 programmers, 2 designers, and 1 artist. I assume he was technically a designer, and we should probably increase the size of this team anyway. So if we have a look at Bamboo Odyssey in here, and we have a look at the info section, we can close this so that this is a little bit cleaner to look at. We can see what we need. We need 6 recommended designers, 8 recommended programmers, and 3 recommended artists. By my count, that's 3 plus 6 is 9, plus 8 is 17, which is honestly a little bit more than we can afford. So let's just go for 2 artists, 8 programmers, and 6 designers. I'm going to go for specializations in system, 2D, 3D, audio, and network. Just to spread this out a little bit more, as more tech comes out, we're going to have to start incorporating some network things and some 3D things, and that's about it. We'll go ahead and click yes there. Turn off cup holder and forgetful, and make sure that we hire let's go for medium, actually. Over time, they will train up to be better, and we'll say, no, let's go high. I changed my mind. I want to have the best of the best. So that should be fine. Role selection should be on best, then secondary, because if we get someone who's good at design and programming, then we want them to be able to do both. Or we could just have it as don't change, and they'll become, like the guy that just retired, excellent at everything over time. I think we will actually go ahead and do that. And yeah, that should be good. Odyssey team will now rehire themselves. If we jump into manage team here and we look at the Odyssey team, jump into employees, and press play, we should hire a bunch of people. And you can see all the new people are the people who are also doing service, but this team isn't actually assigned to any service skills, so that won't matter. And that should be absolutely fantastic. Work on with that. Also to note, the Whispering Grove, I forgot that we actually turned this one on first, is now in the alpha stage. Next phase should start in July of 2000. We currently have 87 followers. Hype is doing its job. Our leader's effectiveness is keeping up, which I was a little bit concerned about, but I believe that Marilyn Lewis, if we have a look in our employee list here, I wish you could search, but it is what it is. Marilyn Lewis, if we have a look at her skills in leadership, she's maxed out, so she should be absolutely fine to take on that role. Still rejecting support jobs at the moment, just because I want to make sure that we can definitely keep up. Looks like we have a new business that we can potentially invest in as well. Go ahead and buy that. And yeah, we're going to keep on keeping on until something here comes out. Looks like PandaDash has absolutely smashed their project management here. They are already in the beta phase. Marketing is doing their job. We are gaining followers. So that is fantastic to see. Everything seems to be working just fine. This is actually going to come out in September of this year, which is wild to me. But yeah, everything seems to be going quite nicely. We'll wait for that to come out, and then I think we will end the episode there. Okay. Project management team PandaDash just released the sports game PandaDash 2. Now I can actually add Panda-1 to the existing products, and I believe the prototype software should be Panda-2. Panda-2 is doing support in here. Yep, everything is good to go. That is exactly what I wanted to happen. I am glad that we can finally remove some of these things from this queue up here and get them moving on. But they'll instantly go into working on Panda-3. The only problem is they don't actually, there's no way to automatically port to anything. So in the next episode, or between episodes, I'm going to install a mod that allows us to do that without having to worry about it. Because honestly, going in here every now and then and checking that things need porting or not is a pain in the butt. So we're going to go ahead and open up, not support, open up details here for Panda-2, check how this goes in the next day or so. We'll also go ahead and port. We'll use everyone to get this done as quickly as we possibly can. Looks like there's only a couple of decent options there. Go ahead and get that ported. That at priority 10, so everyone can work on that as quickly as they can. But we did get outstanding and actually visionary in terms of our creativity, which is fantastic. Who was the lead designer on this? 93%. He should only have inspiring creativity, so that is interesting. Hopefully he can continue with that. That would be fantastic. But yeah, we'll wait till the end of the day here, which isn't too far away, and see how this goes. Let's see. 1.3 million. Honestly, not too bad. We've got prominent marketing. If we look at Panda here, we should see hype for Panda-3, marketing for Panda-2. Their net is 1.3 million, which is what we made. It'll be interesting to see how much money they spend there. Yeah, we'll have a look. We'll keep an eye on their marketing spend. They should automatically adjust that in order to not lose us money. Generally, it's like 50 to 70% of the total net that they'll spend on marketing. So I'm curious to see how that goes. Once all these things start to come out, I honestly don't expect our marketing teams to be able to keep up. I definitely think we're going to have to expand them, if not hire another 3 teams to keep up with the demand. But as we get to 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock, we've only spent 28,000, which is already telling me that we might not have enough marketing people already. I really want to be spending a lot more money than that on our marketing in order to get it out to the world. But we'll see what happens when the day rolls over. They spent about 40,000. We're still prominent, not too bad, but I would like to improve it. So we'll go ahead and accept both these print jobs, assuming neither of them are operating systems. Go ahead and buy these stocks and hire some employees. Again, this is service, marketing, secondary role, none, salary high. This will be for the M1, let's go for the M12 team. I don't want to deal with the night owls just yet, and we'll go ahead and begin looking. Looks like we have 6, so let's go ahead and hire every single one of them. We'll go for 3 on the M12 team, and I'm realizing as I'm doing this, we don't need to. We actually set these guys up to have HR management. So instead, we can just set these to 15, which is going to be our max team size, and they will go ahead and hire them for us. We don't actually have to worry about this even a little bit. So we'll set those all to 15. They should hire their own employees, and that will be good to go. I'm curious how Panda-2 does in the coming month, but then that's going to be it. So we'll do a quick little time lapse as we get to the end of this day and see how it goes. Okay, we are at 12:13 in the morning on December 1999. We did $2.97 million in sales on Panda-2, which is absolutely fantastic. You can see here our market recognition for all of our things is honestly pretty good. Apart from FPS and RTS, we're doing pretty damn well. For a game studio. We've currently got 184 million in the bank, 240,000 in net worth. Everything is running smoothly, which is exactly what I wanted to see. Because in the next episode, I actually want to switch gears entirely. I want to build a second floor to our office, and I want to go ahead and hire an operating system team. Then after that, I want to start getting into research, which I've actually never done before. So that is going to be interesting. Make sure you stick around to see that. Make sure you're subscribed if you haven't already. If you liked the video, make sure to hit that like button and leave a comment for the sake of engagement. But until next time, happy building, happy developing. Bye, guys.